Hello, beautiful, intelligent people. This is John, and I'm going to bring to you in clear, decisive, comprehensible understanding how the USA helped Russia fund its war to go into Ukraine. Well, we are now giving Ukraine a bunch of money, billions of dollars, to help battle back the same entity, Russia, that we enabled to receive funds to go to war. So as we see, Russia's main export is fuels and energy. And if you check the fuel price back in December of 2020, before Joe Biden took office in January 6th of 2021, the price per barrel of oil was $49.99 per barrel. And the reason it was so low is because the previous administration knocked down the regulations and restrictions and gave open access to U.S. Independent oil producers to produce as much oil at a lower cost, and therefore flooding the market with the oil, causing the price to stay and go down very low, which is a good thing for the American consumer. It's a very bad thing for Russia because their prices had to be right where ours were to be able to sell their oil on the open market. But when the new administration came in, they applied restrictions and regulations on oil drilling, and it hurt a lot of the smaller oil companies, but it helped the large corporate companies. And for all the environmentalists out there, understand that the United States is the cleanest producer and refiner of oil in the world. So therefore, it'd be best if the cleanest producer of oil produces the most oil for the world. So the next question we should ask ourselves is, when did we first notice Russia was about ready to invade Ukraine? Well, that was in March and April of 2021. That's when we noticed that Russia was building up forces along the Ukrainian border. And that gave us the idea, well, they look like they're getting ready to invade Ukraine. We better keep gas prices down, oil prices down, because since oil is Russia's main export and it costs a lot of money to run and fund a war, if we keep the oil prices down, they're not going to be able to go in. But this administration put restrictions and regulations on the oil companies, causing the price of oil to go up. The next question we want to ask is, when did Russia actually go in to the Ukraine? So now, 3 minutes into this video, we noticed that Russia went into Ukraine on 24th February 2022. Russia illegally entered Ukraine. So what was the oil price in February of 2022? In February of 2022, the price of oil was $97.13 per barrel. Now, that almost doubled from where it was about a year ago. So this administration saw that Russia was getting ready to go into Ukraine in the spring. They put regulations on the oil companies in America and restrictions, causing the price of oil to soar. Russia doubled their export profit margin, giving them enough money to create and build armament and munitions, and therefore, by simple mathematics and the profit that Russia was making by selling its oil at a much higher price, enabled them to go to war with Ukraine. As we can see here, Russia's resilient seaborne crude exports. China, #1 purchaser, and you got Netherlands, Italy, Poland, South Korea, Turkey, India, other unknown. And then Russia in the pre-war and post-war, China scaled up purchasing oil from Russia. And now we know Russia and China are very close allies. So pay attention, wake up. Let us listen to some oil drillers in the United States of America, how they talked about how easy it was to produce oil under the previous administration.
One stop for President Trump during his visit to the basin tomorrow will be to an oil rig The president will take a tour of an active rig for Double Eagle Energy. Big Two's Jake Eistedt spoke with the CEO of Double Eagle. So, Jake, how does the CEO say the president has helped the oil and gas industry?
Yeah, Eddie, the CEO, Cody Campbell, was quick to point out the president's leadership surrounding the economy, as well as his ability to keep regulators out of the oil and gas industry. Now, in just a couple months apart, oil has been both negative and now positive $40. A lot of opinions about the president's impact on that sector. Take a look.
You know, we couldn't be any more proud to host this president on our rig.
While stopping in the oil capital of the country, the president will see it for himself, up close and personally. He will visit Double Eagle Energy, where they will give him a tour.
Go into things as deeply as he wants to go into them.
He will also say a few words about the state of oil and gas. Many in the industry tout Trump's deregulations and policies helping the oil and gas sector.
And he really does protect us from a lot that comes down from Washington, and you know, we're really fortunate to have him in that position.
Germany is totally controlled by Russia because they were getting from 60 to 70% of their energy from Russia and a new pipeline. And you tell me if that's appropriate, because I think it's not. And I think it's a very bad thing for NATO, and I don't think it should have happened. And I think we have to talk to Germany about it. On top of that, Germany is just paying a little bit over 1%, whereas the United States, in actual numbers, is paying 4.2% of a much larger GDP. So I think that's inappropriate also. You know, we're protecting Germany, we're protecting France, we're protecting everybody, and yet we're paying a lot of money to protect. Now, this has been going on for decades. This has been brought up by other presidents, but other presidents never did anything about it because I don't think they understood it or they just didn't want to get involved. But I have to bring it up because I think it's very unfair to our country. It's very unfair to our taxpayer. And I think that these countries have to step it up, not over a 10-year period. They have to step it up immediately. Germany is a rich country. They talk about they're going to increase it a tiny bit by 2030. Well, they could increase it immediately tomorrow and have no problem. I don't think it's fair to the United States. So we're going to have to do something because we're not going to put up with it. We can't put up with it, and it's inappropriate. So we have to talk about the billions and billions of dollars that's being paid to the country that we're supposed to be protecting you against. You know, everybody's talking about it all over the world. They'll say, well, wait a minute, we're supposed to be protecting you from Russia, but why are you paying billions of dollars to Russia for energy? Why are countries in NATO, namely Germany, having a large percentage of their energy needs paid, you know, to Russia and taken care of by Russia? Now, if you look at it, Germany is a captive of Russia because they supply. They got rid of their coal plants. They got rid of their nuclear. They're getting so much of the oil and gas from Russia. I think it's something that NATO has to look at.
I want to thank you for watching this video. I hope you'll stop by my channel and look at some other videos that I've uploaded. I think you'll find informative information on them. And I'd like to address the climate change agenda and the extremists, rather than just complaining about things that are happening. We can't get away from fossil fuels. We need them. If not, the supply chain breaks down and many people die. But there could be things being done. We have carbon capture. They're called plants, trees, shrubs, bushes. Have the universities study which of these plants, trees, shrubs, and bushes are the best at doing carbon capture. Plant them along the highways and byways. Next time you run down the highway, just think, there should be a tree every 20 feet because they will absorb the emissions and carbon that come off the cars. It's proven. There's a couple universities that have done a study and they found out that shrubs and bushes and trees planted along the highway absorb a certain amount of carbon. Other things can be done. We can turn drinking water or seawater into fresh water. We can put huge lakes in desert regions. That'll cool that climate down. It'll also make it so people can grow things around these lakes. We have, I think, 33% of this earth is desert. They say the oceans are rising. Transfer that, pipeline it up, and along the way have shrimp farms and fish farms. And then once you get there, build the lake. Have the lake built and filled in. Maybe not just one massive lake, but a whole bunch of maybe 200-acre lakes that connect. And then you have a spillway coming down back to the ocean. You build dams, so those dams can produce clean, renewable energy. Also, we got geothermal energy. Let's tap into that a little more than we do. The entire island of Japan could be run on geothermal energy due to the fact that they are on what's called the Ring of Fire. They're right over it. We also have the Arctic ice is melting. I've been to ski resorts. I've seen them turning water into snow. We could take seawater, turn it into fresh water, turn that into snow, and put that smack dab in the middle of Antarctica, the North and South Pole. Okay? There's so many different things that we should be looking at rather than just saying, let's kill the fossil fuel use. Of course, they're calling it fossil fuel. I have my own opinion on that. But let's kill natural gas, coal, and oil. Well, you do that, and you're going to cause the people around the globe to starve to death. Seek the truth daily, my friends. The truth will find you seeking.